Hey viewers, I'm Big Jonah and I'm an engineering student from one of the prestigious universities in Nigeria, Africa. And in today's video, I'm going to share with you how I was able to work smart and scale my way from third class to first class. So stick with me to the very end of this video. Thank you.
In the world today, most students have this false belief that in order to be successful in school, you have to study and study all over the time. And without that, you will not be able to have a good grades. But that is a problematic.
Yes, it's great to be hardworking and there's nothing wrong with that at all. But there's something that's also as equal as hardworking, which is working smart. Working hard is one piece of the puzzle. Working smart is the final piece of the puzzle.
Frequently working hard is not just enough. Take note of that today. You may be in a situation where you have been studying and studying 8 hours, 10 hours, 11 hours, and even read till daybreak, but you are not just getting to that point you are aiming for, that top notch you deserve. That is, your input is not bringing out enough output.
If you're this kind of student, you must have probably asked yourself what's really happening. A lot of questions running through your mind. See many of your friends achieving that high grade that you want, but it doesn't work for you. How do they do it? You ask yourself. I work harder than Mr. A, I work harder than Mr. B, but why am I still the least of them? You can't even find yourself any answer. So now stick with me because we have to change the way you have been studying your whole life. If you are here and you haven't subscribed to this channel, like this video, share this video, I do recommend you do those things. Thank you. Now, let's dive into the list of what you need to put into action in order to be successful in your academy.
Number 1, schedule your study. Most students, when semester start, the hours of time they study will be very little, while some don't even study at all. That is when you will see them engaging in so many ridiculous activities like partying and other unreasonable things instead of focusing on their study.
The thing is that this kind of student underutilize that short period before the exam.
As the semester continue and their exams start approaching, then you will see that the number of hours they study will suddenly shoot up, and that is when some will start reading and want to understand what the lecturer have been teaching from the beginning of the semester, because they never really understand and never care to until the force from the exam motivate them to start cramming in preparation. Then 1 or 2 weeks before the exams, their hours of studying will suddenly increase more. Then when they enter exam hall, their brain disappoint them. Everything they cram gone, they can't recall anything, and then as if the answer is going to come from the ceiling.
And this happened because you don't really understand the subject. The information was not really taken in. You are just reading just to pass your exam or to fail your exam. And as you all know, the failure to prepare is the preparation to fail. Maybe you that you are watching me right now, that's how you study. Yes, that's how most students study. Even me, I can say sometimes I'm guilty of that also, but it's quite ridiculous way of approaching your exam. It's not advisable at all. In my own contribution, there's a better and smarter way of studying, and in my own case, what I will do is that
immediately I resume the semester, I make sure I know the number of subjects I'm going to offer throughout that semester and make sure I get all the materials needed. Then I will create my own personal timetable apart from the school own and set a number of hours I'm going to study every day. Now that could be 4 hours, 5 hours, 8 hours, 10 hours. It's really up to you, but just make sure you maintain it throughout the semester. So in my own case, it was 7 hours a day, and I'll make sure I do my best, and this was a focused, intense study. And at the beginning of the semester, I will make sure I get the past paper to have a hint of what I'm going to be learning in the class and to have an idea of how my exam is going to look like. I'm watching video on YouTube about the new subject in order to have a broad understanding about the subject. And as you know, your lecturer will only teach you 30% of the subject. The remaining is less for you to teach yourself. At this point, most students never start studying. They will be busy doing other unreasonable things and procrastinating because there is no exam deadline for months to come.
And trust me, this is where you get ahead of them all.
You want to know that you are working smart in silence and building to become the best version of yourself. And this kind of study is a stress-free way of study because you still have much time for an exam to come. So you are not panicking. You are not forced to cram your study. As the semester continues, your number of hours of studying stay the same, where other students just want to start preparing or increasing their number of hours of study because exam is fast approaching and the force from the exam have started to motivate them to start preparing for exam.
But you don't. You stick to your number of hours throughout the whole semester, so you are not panicking. It's already part of you, and by then you must have covered a lot. If I had one tip for you to study smarter and not harder, I would suggest you schedule out your studying. Start studying before your exam, so when your exam do come around, you will not be forced to cram your study.
2. Avoid insincere study.
This is a very big mistake I see a lot of students make when preparing for their exam.
It is when you just sit there with your textbook, your phone and laptop, thinking to yourself that you are reading, but you are not sincerely taking in the information. You only got better in convincing yourself that you did. You don't. It's a facade, because the information that you really need for the exam is not actually taken in. You are only tricking yourself to feel like you are studying and you are productive instead of studying sincerely with your exam in mind. And you find out that most of what you study at that moment will be forgotten during the exam because the information was not really taken in. You only glance through the text, and in order to get rid of that guilt that you are not serious about your education. 3. Active engagement.
I've seen a lot of students complaining that they have been studying and studying for a particular exam, but when their results do come around, their grades do not tally with the amount of study they have been doing. And this happens because a lot of students misunderstand reading and reading notes as studying. Now let me tell you the meaning of studying.
Studying is the review of materials already learned in order to make sure one do not forget them, usually in preparation for examination.
So when it comes to study, you need to be actively engaged with the material. You need to bring out meaning from the material that you are studying.
Make it feel like you are in the lecture, forming some examples on your own. Ask yourself a question and answer those questions yourself. That is when you get connected with the material. It's not about cramming or just highlighting some text that you don't even really understand. You just need to be intensively engaged with the material, creating questions as you read through, and make sure you answer those questions when you are done reading. Teach your colleague if they need your help, and what that will do for you is that it will make you understand the subject in a deeper dimension, and you will hardly forget the concept.
Another important thing that you really need to know as a student to be successful in academy is the information recall. Basically, information recall is when you just finish a lecture and then you find a quiet place and recall all the information that you just learned from the lecture. That is studying for a short period of time after each lecture.
4. Eliminate distraction and multitasking.
This is a mistake I see a lot of students make, and it has a dramatic consequences at the end of it all.
Basically, this is when you are reading and doing something else. It is when you are studying and playing game on your phone or laptop, or when you are studying and chatting on social media.
So consider eliminating anything that will distract you whenever you are studying.
Don't go to class to study with your phone or laptop if you don't need it. Sacrifice that time by disciplining yourself so that you can focus on your study.
So if I have any tips to give you in order to be successful in your academy, I would suggest you put everything that we just discussed into an action. And with all that being said, I will end this video with the same message that I've repeated numerous times in this video. Don't just study hard, study smarter rather than harder. Thank you. Yay, we've come to the end of this video, but don't click on just yet. This video took so much of my time to research, script, edit, film, and so on and so forth. So you can't imagine how much I really do appreciate your support. If you can subscribe to this YouTube channel, share the video, drop your comment at the comment section. I would really appreciate that. And also, if you don't like the video, don't be shy. Hit the dislike button twice for you to be sure. And if you're watching from Facebook, then share the video, like the page, follow us, and your engagement really matters to us. So we really appreciate your support. If you can take your time to subscribe, to like, share the video, and drop your comment, like the video, follow the page, we really appreciate that. Thank you so much. See you in the next video. Thank you. Yay.